Alright, and they're off.
Only rupees so far.
Yeah, Qirn taking the Sanctuary first route, it looks like. Not usually what people like to do, but it's definitely an option.
It's the one I like to do the most. It's just a more standard play rather than, and a more risky play. You're hoping for bombs early on with that route.
Right. And you can get a lot of opportunities for that with these tree poles and, you know, the little monster with the bush. You know, that's what Qirn's hoping for here. Let's see if it works out for them. Opting to kill that guy just to get the tree pole, just some hearts.
That was some really hype here. You got some Moon Pearl and Mirror going on.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Dark World access is almost there.
Yep, pretty much. Just a piece of heart on the lumberjack ledge, so Aghanim not immediately required. Oh, and the little bug just dropping hearts as well, so yeah, not too much bomb access here in this northern part so far.
No, this might be a problem for them. Now they'll have to buy some bombs, it looks like.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting decision you have to make. Or are you gonna just gamble on one of those rooms with all the chests in Kakariko and hope there's bombs, or are you gonna go just the south part and purchase some? Guarantee them. So we'll see what the runners choose to do. Yeah, xelnas taking the safe play, just going straight down, and I'm gonna check this tavern first. Just 20 bucks in there, and then imagine they'll go straight to the shop just to the west and buy some bombs.
Yeah, it looks like Qirn decided to save and quit, started the house, and farm some bombs beforehand.
Yeah, another, you know, pseudo guaranteed way of getting bombs. You will get them. It's just a matter of how many bushes you have to pull before you do. And then you kind of work your way from south to north. There's one.
Only a big 20 on the ledge here for a race game, so...
Yeah, so unfortunate waste of a bomb there for xelnas, kind of going for the, you know, I think there's something there, so I'm just gonna do the race game anyway, but not gonna work out this time. Bloomerang at the bottle vendor.
Might be useful depending on what's the stun drop.
Oh, that was kind of a crazy bomb throw from NYRambler. It really looked like he was gonna throw it forward, and it just like shanked off to the right.
There were some bombs in the bottom of the well here,
Ooh,
so
we got a chicken clip all the way through the wall. He re-picks up the chicken. It went so far.
that's even better than wall chicken.
Yeah, that was quite a chicken clip. I don't know if I've ever seen one so good.
And the bottle and the power glove here, that's a nice find for Rambler.
Yeah. Yeah, we're one item away from full Dark World access with a mirror. Already 5 minutes in.
I gotta say too, shout outs to Rambler for erasing all of those blocks.
Yeah, he is not a fan.
Sick at only having a bit of love. Nothing much today. Now, from the looks of it, it looks like Rambler and SirLinkalot have the superior routing early on here. xelnas is not far behind, and Qirn will get his Moon Pearl and Mirror as soon as he gets into Skull Woods. Oh, Skull Woods. I mean, Lost Woods.
Yeah.
Not quite in the Dark World yet.
Yeah, Qirn south to north strategy, it's not. It could have worked. So it's just you kind of just get lucky and see which one works. In this case, north to south seemed to be the slightly better option. Looks like xelnas. Oh, xelnas is checking this because they haven't done that yet.
SirLinkalot is about to check sewers here.
Just a bunch of junk in the sewers. Guess that's
Yep.
what you'd expect in the sewers.
Yeah, and Rambler did get only a bunch of hearts too, so nothing much so far. It's probably all in
Yeah.
Moldon Cave, right?
Hype Cave Light, as I like to call it.
Pretty much.
Yeah, no weapons whatsoever, so everybody's gonna have to use bombs if they're gonna want to conquer that mini Moldorm cave, which can be pretty tricky sometimes, especially if you only have 4 or 5 bombs like some of these runners do.
Dang, that wasn't a very hype cave when the best
No.
prize in there was a red boomerang.
Yeah, laggy boomerang. That's all you get. And xelna's opting for escape. Gonna have to use bombs here as well to take out these guards.
It's not that bad since he does have a boomerang to stun them.
Yeah, and quite a few bombs, so that's will work out nicely for xelnas. And I have a feeling we'll see something there. We haven't seen anything really yet, but we're heading for the Ice Rod Cave, so we'll see what's in there.
Only a piece of heart. So
Just a piece of heart. Nothing escaped so far either. Where are these items?
at this point, it's probably Sahasrahla that has them.
Yeah, Sahasrahla or Eastern Palace. That's pretty much all we've got left. Potentially a weird chest like Agana's cave.
Yeah, that That place is really bad.
Nobody wants to go there until it's the last place they're gonna go, at least this early in the game. Xelna's opting for the pot strats here. Take out this chain guard. It only takes 2 pots to do it, so it's definitely the best option considering the items they have available to them. And they're gonna take a death warp here. Didn't actually need to death warp because they had the mirror, but you know, with 1 heart, maybe it's just a safety kind of strat.
Rambler found the Titans in Sahasrara.
Titans miss. So we have Dark World access and no weapons to defend ourselves.
This is interesting so far.
Yeah, that's something. It'll be interesting to see if somebody really risks the Dark World play early, or if they're gonna check a couple more things first.
I mean, judging by what they have so far, I'd bet it's either in Thieves Town that's progression, or even Hype Cave for once.
Yeah, it could be. That Dark World access opens up quite a few chests, even when you don't have sword or hammer or anything. So
Just makes it a bit more difficult to travel around. Enemies in the Dark World tend to do a lot of damage, especially on Greenmail.
Yeah, and even though they have boomerangs aren't effective against a lot of the Dark World enemies. Some of them just completely ignore it. You can kind of get some iframes, you know, from their damage that or their little mini stuns they get, but yeah, it's not what you want when you're going to Dark World. You want something to defend yourself. So yeah, it looks like NYRambler is going to be their first Dark World visitor here.
Meanwhile, it looks like SirLinkalot is going towards Eastern.
Yeah, so this will... Okay, we got green pendant Mire, blue pendant Pod.
And we have the 5 and 6 crystals in the Skullwoods and Thieves Towns. So not bad.
Nice. Just a heart container in the first chest of Eastern Palace. Didn't see what was in that bomb hut, but imagine one of our runners will go there pretty soon.
Meanwhile, Rambler is going to clear out all the bottom of Hyrule, starting with the digging game.
Just a heart container, very dirty one. It looks like we had mushroom in that bomb hunt that I missed, so fetch quests.
Yeah, and depending how soon they get a hammer, maybe we'll get to see the trick with the mushroom? I don't know.
Yeah, fake powder always a possibility if you have the right items for it.
Of course, they also need the cane for that to work.
Yeah, need the cane of Samaria.
I always like seeing that trick, so I hope they find it soon. Meanwhile, SirLinkalot is still going far into Eastern, trying to go through the dark rooms. Not quite easy without a sword.
Nope. And it doesn't look like it's had any value so far. So SirLinkalot's really hoping this last chest behind these dark rooms will will pay off.
Hammer here would be a great payoff.
Yeah, that would be crazy because it'd be a sequence break as well. Yeah, just because somebody's inquiring in chat, we do have 2 trackers for this race, Recitador and Reg, and they're watching the stream and they're tracking along and punching in all the items that each of our runners do. So it's an important job. Okay, so here's our hobo, just a piece of heart there. So allow you from that sequence break.
Rambler checking the Southern Grove, only getting a piece of heart him too.
Yeah, really no items yet. We've seen quite a few locations, but there's still no weapon of any sort.
Rambler down to his last bomb's gonna open up Hype Cave.
So Qirn going for a sequence break here. You can get the walk on water glitch if you have the Moon Pearl and you do the fake flippers to this area. Gain some access to these 2 chests. Oh.
The Rambler is out of bombs. He can't check the back half of the Hype Cave.
That's unfortunate.
Well, fortunately for him, there's a bomb shop right here.
Yep.
Ooh, we got a magic cape up the ledge in Zora's domain.
Okay, interesting. Not accessible yet. You do need flippers to get to that item. Looks like Qirn did not do Zora. Qirn didn't have enough rupees to do Zora, so just kind of straining that item. And Zora is in sequence once you have the gloves, so that could hold value. We won't know until we see it. And that's like a 2 out of 10 Hype Cave. He had a bottle and a bunch of hearts. Was the Sank heart though, so I guess maybe a 2.5 out of 10.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Xelnas is in Skull Woods right now. Didn't find much either.
Where are these items? We do have access to Thieves Town. It's just kind of a scary play when you don't have any weapons. I don't blame our runners for not going there right now.
Oh, look at that find! The flute in the purple chest.
That's pretty huge.
And people call me crazy for playing with the purple chest. Now, Flute does open up a few more locations, especially around Mire Shed and up Death Mountain.
Yeah.
I mean, they could technically still get there by going through the dark rooms and
flippers.
Yeah, okay. Flippers.
Interesting.
So at this point, I'm wondering what's up on Bumper Cave.
Yeah, now, yeah, this is getting interesting. Yeah, so New York, we're going straight for the Mire area. 3 pretty quick chests you can check here, and then also have access to desert.
Looks like Meyer is locked by Ether.
Good to know. And NYRambler is not a fan of blocks. He just he just makes them all vanish. I'm just checking the graveyard ledge. Just 20 bucks there, unfortunately. Kind of a weird chest that a lot of people like to blow off. Half magic in the checkerboard cave. So that a nice item, but none of their items currently require any magic. So it'll pay off later, but it's we're still looking for something for them to defend themselves here, or at least fight some bosses.
Xelnas showing off his knowledge of where he can go with those slippers here. Don't need no hammer to access that part of the world if you have the slippers.
Nope. And sometimes it's required, so you know this isn't a bad play by them at all. Gonna go to Catfish here first, and then probably check you know, all the flipper lock chests in the light world. They're just mirroring.
Was that a key on the torch? I missed it.
I missed it too, to be honest. Nope, small key there, so get access to at least a few more chests here.
Looks like Chan is saying that it's the lamp that was there.
Lamp, wow, that's huge. So lamp is boot locked.
Lamp could still be a good progression here since they do not have any kind of fire weapons right now.
Yeah. Looks like xelnas is gonna go pick up the cape. Not quite enough rupees to go check Zora, unfortunately, just 40 rupees short. But that cape could come in handy. It kind of serves as like a fetch quest for one item, and then can also just be useful in certain bosses, especially when you don't have a weapon to defend yourself, like these runners do right now.
Indeed.
Could just come in handy just to stay alive in certain situations. So Rambler looking like they're going to sequence break here. I imagine with their rupee count that they're going to actually go all the way to Zora here. Yeah, and we'll see what Zora holds. One of the few chests we haven't seen from any of our runners so far. Oh, that was scary. That little red fireball got pretty close. Take damage there, and it's a one-hit KO. It's just kind of a little thing the developers put in to take out that soft lock that was in the vanilla game.
Yeah, better to be dead than stuck there.
Right.
Yeah, at this point, I'm betting that Thieves Town has the next progression.
It's either Thieves Town or Zora. That's pretty much all we've got left. I mean, I guess we do have access to Palace of Darkness, so, but nobody wants to go there, especially when you don't have the hammer or the bow.
It could also be in Tower Hera.
Yeah, Zora just $20. Pretty bad investment. 480 rupee loss there for NYRambler.
Well, at least he knows what was there.
Exactly. You're investing in the knowledge. I don't believe we've seen this location. NYRambler turning in the mushroom. So we'll see what they will get in return. That fine fungi. Not just an arrow upgrade. So we're just kind of getting ripped off by all the citizens of Hyrule. None of these fetch quests really paying off.
I like how Rambler hesitated there and saw that it was a good bee and said, "You know what? I'll hand it. I'll keep it."
Yeah, bees can come in, especially when you have no weapons whatsoever. That's literally the only weapon they have is that bee.
Oh yeah, and the good bee is pretty good too.
Yeah,
Kills
the
it
good bee is
fast.
not bad at all. So Qirn making their way through Thieves Town. See if anything shows up here. I mean, we gotta see something at some point here. This is kind of ridiculous.
Well, on Spectacle Rock here, that was Ether, and that's not something you want to see.
Oh, no, it's not.
Because that opens up Meyer, but with no sword, it's still locked.
Right, Meyer being a pendant dungeon, you know, some people would opt to skip that. So, we'll see. Yeah, Graham, we're going to Tower Hera here. Can't complete the dungeon and can't check the basement chest yet either. But still leaves a couple chests that they can check, so. Blue mail. That's at least nice.
It's not bad. Doesn't quite help progressing the seed though.
No, not really. Uh-oh. Good patience there. Oh, and just a small key in that chest. So yeah, they're locked out of Tower of Hera and nothing left there either. I mean,
Good on him.
Yeah. It's looking like it's either one of these last Thieves Town chests, or it's down in Palace of Darkness somewhere. Our next progression item. Yeah, that's true from the chat. Even if we did have a sword and could get into Meyer, you can't actually get past the first room unless you have either boots or a hookshot. So probably won't see that for quite a while. Xelnas was thinking about checking Swamp Palace there. Decided against it.
Yeah, only access to one chest inside Swamp here, but at this point,
Yeah.
it might be the correct answer.
Well, and the thing is, too, is that the only way they could get that chest is if they can kill those 3 enemies there, and so they'd have to use bombs to kill those. And
I take that back with that hammer just besides blind here.
Finally, our first weapon.
Is this swordless?
Maybe, dude. I don't know. It is so far, and we're a half hour in. But that hammer's huge. That pretty much blows this wide open. That allows Qirn to have access to a myriad of chests.
Now, Qirn is going to have to do blind with just a few hearts and the hammer here. It's going to be a hard one.
That is not easy. Oh, and just opts to not take that heart there. They've got some confidence. I like it. So regardless of what weapon you use, blind takes 3 hits per phase. So even with the hammer, it's just going to be 3 hits to that dome. Really nice dodges here. Oh, and the red potion. Just taking it, playing it safe right away. I like that. Oh no. So it's
That was close,
nice,
but he did
nice.
it.
Good use of pause buffering there. So with 2 hearts, yeah, the flying heads will do 2 hearts of damage if they collide with you. So you know they're kind of in a little bit of danger there, and clutched it out. Good stuff. NYRambler having a little bit of trouble with this damage boost. Oh, that's unfortunate. Opting to leave. Not a huge deal. Nothing really. Nothing in. We know it was a big key on that chest, and we know there wasn't anything in the big chest. So, and without bow, can't complete the dungeon anyways. NYRambler will have to go back there at some point, regardless of that death there. Nothing at the hammer pegs.
Oh, looks like Rambler sold the bee to the ball merchant. That's not something you see every scene.
No, I don't know if I've ever seen that. That's interesting.
Oh, it's an extra $100, so
Yeah,
it's something good.
could come in handy when you're buying bottles or doing Zora or whatever. So yeah, Qirn with a pretty significant lead here, just because that Thieves' Town Plague and that hammer that allows access to quite a few chests, including the entire east side of Death Mountain.
Yeah, and as we know right now, the hammer is probably what they need to go further in somewhere, either in Palace of Darkness, Death Mountain east side, like you said, or possibly even Swamp.
Yep.
Left side Swamp is a great place for next progression item. A place you don't want to go without a hookshot.
Especially with no hookshot and no boots, it takes about 5 years to do those 4 chests. But you know, it's not a bad option at this point. You're running out of chests. There's 4 there. Could have some value.
Yeah, looking how this seed went so far.
Yeah. That's kind of the question you have to ask is like, can it get worse? Or is it just gonna give me a little break afterwards?
And the answer is obviously, of course it can get worse.
Oh, yeah. I don't even know why I ask myself that question anymore. Nothing at the bumper cave. Ooh, nice dodge there. Oh, I don't know if they can get out of this. Oh, I've got the potion. Nice. Good thinking by NYRambler there to get out of that situation.
Oh yeah, don't want to mess around too much with the murderodactyls here.
Yeah, they just chunk you. So Qirn gonna get their flute. That fits into their route quite nicely if they decide to do Death Mountain next.
Yeah, Qirn is having a pretty good lead here with the hammer.
Yeah.
I think it's a thing people start to realize in the last few versions is that randomizer tends to favor going into dungeons.
Yeah, that's definitely been a pattern we've seen. Our other three runners just do not seem to want to do Thieves' Town. And it's understandable. It's kind of an awkward location, especially if you don't have a way to defeat the boss, you know. You're basically just hoping to find something, and that's where Qirn got some nice value. Linkalot taking an interesting route out of there. They did have the Titan's Mitts, so they could have grabbed that block to the right, but I think they just kind of forgot.
Seeing some dark room action here, trying to get the old man.
Well, we're not seeing it, but it's it's happening.
Hey, we're seeing something.
Yeah, we're seeing the lag meringue fly back and forth. There's a question in chat. Is there a way to see something in dark rooms without the light? So what you can do is you can do what Qirn's doing right now and throw something like a boomerang or a hook shot and, you know, get a brief thing. But the main thing that really helps other than a lamp in a dark room is sword, because you can charge your sword and it makes a little beam of light that shows where your sprite is, and it can help you guide through.
Indeed, and if you're in a room that has a torch somewhere in it, you can light the torch to get some light.
Right, if you have the fire rod.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so the fire rod can come in handy in dark rooms if they have torches. Yeah, so Qirn making this play for Death Mountain. Nice route there. Not going to be able to finish Tower of Hera before going to East Side. And I think our other three runners are getting pretty narrowed down here. I imagine they'll be making their Thieves' Town play pretty soon here. Yeah, it looks like NYRambler's probably heading there right now. Alright, so Death Mountains, we're going to see some new locations here. See what our next progression item will be, potentially.
Well, the odds are in his favor. There's like a whole
Indeed they are.
3 million items over here. Oh, and that's a sword up there.
There's our first sword, and that is accessible. With the Titan's Mitts and the mirror, they can get their sword. So finally, after 40 plus minutes, we'll have our first sword. Confirmed, not swordless run. NYRambler making their way through Thieves Town, gonna get their hammer pretty soon here. I imagine our other 2 runners will be heading there soon. Not many chests left for them.
Yeah, there comes a point where you're pretty much forced into one direction.
Yeah. And nobody wants to have that happen to them, but it happens to everybody at some point. It's just the nature of the randomizer. You can never know for sure where to go. What do we have here? Nothing, nothing, and nothing. And nothing. And another sword. Alright. So 2 swords on Death Mountain. Sword, not a progression item, I don't believe. Yeah, because we don't have it. No, yeah, it's not a progression item, so.
Not for now, though. Master Sword will come in handy later on, though.
Oh yeah, well, of course you want the Master Sword, but doesn't progress this logic quite yet. So, see if there's anything on the Dark World side of Death Mountain. Oh, Qirn getting blocked by the dead rock there.
Unfortunate.
So close to, probably a pixel away, and he couldn't get up that ladder, but the dead rocks take no prisoners.
Dead rocks do what they do best, annoy every runner ever.
Yep. Definitely my least favorite enemy in the game. So it looks like Turtle Rock is Ether as well, so barring a required bombos for Ice Palace, we have all the medallions we need to complete this run.
Indeed. In the meantime, NYRambler did get his hammer. About to go fight Blind.
Nice.
Sure.
Ooh, the boots!
Ah, finally!
Finally, we get something. Qirn is about to go real fast here. And that's definitely a progression item. It opens up the rest of Desert Palace, as well as a couple chests in the overworld. As well as Mire access, actually. Because we've got the Ether now, too, so Mire is now accessible for Qirn.
Yeah, and technically Tower of Hera just got access too, since the boots do unlock the lamp, which gives access to doing Hera
Ah, yeah, you're right. Those boots blow this wide open. I forgot about the lamp.
Indeed.
Oh, NYRambler taking a death there. Blind. Tricky fight. Especially if you don't have a sword. Not easy for anybody. Opting to leave and do that later. Not too bad. Nothing. We know there's nothing behind Blind, so it's just something. Come back when he's more prepared, item-wise.
Yeah, come back when he has a sword.
Right, exactly. And he'll be getting one very soon, it looks like. Yeah, Qirn going straight to desert, that's the play. Go get that lamp. Qirn with a pretty big lead here. Seed really just blew open for them.
Yeah, I do like Qirn's routing right now, since getting the lamp will get him a much easier time inside Mire, since nobody wants to do Mire in the dark.
Yeah, and with no other fire source available, some of the chests in Mire are locked without that lamp, so...
Yeah, exactly.
We'll see if Qirn, but it is a pendant dungeon. I wouldn't be surprised if Qirn opts not to go there, even though it's right here. We'll see. It looks like all of our runners will now have their hammer. SirLinkalot on the blind fight here. Also struggling a little bit, but has 2 potions. This is a nice safety net there.
Yeah,
Also
blind
have
is
the cape and half magic, so... Oh, I guess you can't do the cape, though, without a sword.
nah, not really, but it's still something they could use between phases of blind.
Yeah, to dodge certain attacks.
He gets through the fight anyway, so good on him.
Nice. I'm gonna go finish Desert Palace here. It's a Crystal Dungeon. Might as well get it out of the way. You've got everything you need for it. Landmoa's fight's gonna be a little bit tricky without a fire rod or something really strong like that, but you know, with a hammer and a master sword, very doable.
Yeah, blue mail and a bunch of hearts, and not
Yeah.
in danger.
Just hard to do it fast, really. NYRambler gonna get his sword here. Happy to see that.
Gets the bomb jump, nice.
Yeah, nice little bomb jump there. Saves about 15 seconds over falling down the pit and doing it the long way. It's a neat little trick. Yeah, and Qirn opting just to punch him down with that lightsaber. Alright, what you got, Landmo? What you got? Just a compass. I miscounted.
Happens to the best of us.
Yep. When you're watching 4 runners, it gets even harder.
Meanwhile, xelnas got through his fight with blind.
Looks like Qirn is gonna go for Meyer here, I believe. Oh, well, checking checkerboard cave first. Gonna get their half magic. Be happy to see that. Really nice item to have, especially later on. Do a nice palace or going through Ganon's tower. It comes in quite in handy. SirLinkalot making their way over to get their sword. SirLinkalot kind of with the advantage that they can access Spike Cave pretty easily because they actually opted to get that cape and half magic. With Qirn and NYRambler both pass it up just because they didn't really have the good items to go through there. So we'll see if that holds any value if SirLinkalot decides to do that.
It would be a good thing to do just after Tower Hera.
It's true. It's not such... And it looks like Qirn's gonna probably go to Tower of Hera here. Well, I'm gonna check Spike Cave first. Okay, makes sense. But yeah, with no cape and no Cane of Burna, this could be a little tricky. They're gonna have to use potions if they have them. Yeah, I think Qirn may not have the means.
If he doesn't have a potion, yeah, he doesn't have one.
He's thinking about a way to always. Okay, interesting. Trying to use some bomb boosts here. You can get dashes here. Yeah, there you go, getting some dashes.
Nah, he's too low.
Yeah, I don't know if he has a potion. We'll see if he pulls one out here. Nah. So, passing up that cape, kind of coming back to bite him. It's funny how that can happen sometimes. Seems like a small item at the time, but then...
Yeah, never pass up cape. I mean, it's pretty useful even when you don't need it for Spike Cave. Just for the Ganon fight alone, it's so useful.
Yeah. And I believe Qirn didn't necessarily pass it up, just saw it, and then at the time didn't have flippers, so, it would have had to go out of their way to go back and get it, which is kind of like, it's just an awkward thing that happened.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, let's see if Tower of Hera has anything here. The infamous tile room. Not opting for the invincibility on the tiles there. I used to do that and then do some push-ups while I was waiting. No, I've been kind of lazy about that lately, though. NYRambler doing their Moa's fight, just opting for the Master Sword as well. Spin damage is pretty good there. Takes them down relatively fast.
Gets himself his first crystal.
Yeah, Rambler also opting to leave the area, so nobody's getting Mire any love yet, which is understandable because it's a pendant dungeon and only really has 2 items.
And Qirn got the hard bomb jump in Tower of Hera.
That's a toughie. Didn't even use the bonk to extend their hurt box. So pretty impressive.
It's a very costly one if you miss it. I mean, it's like 45 seconds of falling and having to climb back up.
Fall down 2 whole pits. It's rough.
Moldorm guy is now down. Didn't troll too much. And it looks like there was no progression in Tower of Hera.
SirLinkalot checking the King's Tomb. I don't believe we've seen that yet.
Indeed, we haven't, because this is a tempered
sword. That's nice. Not a progression item, but very, very helpful one. Especially late game.
Oh yeah, it just made every boss in this game a lot easier.
Yeah, exactly.
Looks like Qirn is going to try his hand at maybe Palace of Darkness? Yeah.
It seems like kind of an awkward play to some people, but it really... We've seen a lot in these past few versions that Palace of Darkness often holds value, especially in these kinds of situations, even without the bow. So, you know, it's a little bit of a gamble for sure, but not insane at all.
Yeah, it's pretty awkward at this stage right now where most dungeons you can get into, Palace of Darkness, Swamp Palace, and Misery Mire, they can't complete any of those three, but they can go check a few items in all of them.
Right, and like we were saying before, Swamp, you know, those chests are so slow right now without the hook shot, so you just really hope to find the hook shot before going in there. So it makes sense. Oh my goodness.
So shout out to Cronus Waters for just getting that right.
Wow. So that's pretty huge. Very nice routing decision by Qirn there, worked out. And with the mirror, they can just... well, I guess they could go to Eastern Palace if they want, but there's just a pendant there. Can't remember if we have one item left in there or not.
Now, a bow is a pretty good item to find, as you can imagine, but there's still lots of items to get, especially since Sterling Rock is a crystal. They do need Cane of Samaria and both rods.
Right. Pedestal is actually very alive in this seed still. Especially with that bow find there, because now we know that Eastern and Pod are fully completable, so all we need is a Cane of Samaria before Mire is completable. And, you know, that could put Ice Rod on the pedestal, that could put Fire Rod on the pedestal. Who knows?
Okay, I gotta say too, Rambler is making the right decision to go there. He's found himself a bow too. He is a couple of dungeons behind, but those dungeons didn't have anything in them, so
Right.
he can go mode them later on.
Exactly. This is definitely closing in a bit. Like, NYRambler is definitely catching up to Qirn, even though Qirn had that huge advantage with that early hammer. Nice bonk strat there by NYRambler to just get to that chest and then route it in a little bit more clean way.
Yeah, it always looks a bit funny. You're going like, wait, how did he get up there? But it's on the same level. Just looks on the different level.
Yeah, it's kind of a tricky bomb jump too. You kind of have to hit the side of the stair, and then you have to make sure you're holding down just to even get your little feet on that last part.
And here's a hook shot. Guess we missed it when Qirn got
it's
it.
right there. Gotcha. Well, that's huge. Yeah, so Pod is stacked.
Now it all makes sense why he's going to swap right now.
Yeah, makes tons of sense. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention if they stranded any items in Pod. Pod with 5 items. I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
NYRambler is not going out yet, though. Still thinking maybe there's more.
Yeah, gets the bug net.
I wonder if Rambler's gonna complete this dungeon and kill Helmasaur King at the end.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, it's a pendant dungeon, right? But we still don't know what's on the pedestal, so...
Yeah, it's a pretty big gamble, but, you know, you never know. If it's one of those gambles, like, where if it pays off, you could end up winning the race, you know, just because of how big it can be.
Oh, definitely. Especially if you feel behind, which Rambler might think he is because of that death in Thieves Town.
Right.
Oh, that's a nice find. I believe that was Fire Rod. Hey, yes, it is. So Qirn missed that.
That's huge. And I believe that was all 5 items in pods, so yeah, like, Helmasaur is not... It's an extremely risky play now, but yeah, getting that Fire Rod is... honestly gives NYRambler kind of an advantage over Qirn at this point. Because it's going to be a while before Qirn's going to want to go back there. You know, that opens up the rest of Skull Woods. And also gives us access to Ice Palace, so...
Yeah, exactly. It's
pretty huge.
Yeah. And once they do find King of Samaria, they will have access to most of Turtle Rock. Everything except the boss. So yeah, these guys are going very fast through the sea now. It was a very rough start with not having any weapon for like first 45 minutes or so.
Right. But that's typically how it goes, you know, you just, with these slow starts, you all of a sudden just get this surge where you just start getting items after items.
I mean, it had to happen.
Yeah.
At some point, you need all those items, so they're bound to be somewhere. And meanwhile, Qirn is not getting any value from checking these items.
That's unfortunate too, because Swamp Palace really is quite slow dungeon if you decide to full clear it like Qirn is and do that left side.
I don't blame him though. There's still a lot of items missing.
No, and it feels like 100% of the time that you skip that left side, you miss something. So.
And meanwhile, Rambler's getting on that refight with Blind. He's gonna get it pretty easily this time.
Yeah, much more prepared at this point. Tons of hearts, Master Sword. It's a little bit trickier if you're revisiting him, because he starts at the top and you can't do the easy first phase.
Yeah, that's true, but if you're really having trouble beating it this way, you can always get Blind in the back of the dungeon again. I learned that a few weeks ago.
Really? Interesting. Yeah. I actually didn't know that.
If you bring Blind back into the room, you basically get a fresh start on the fight.
Wow, that's interesting.
It's still a time loss because you get Blind again.
It definitely is.
If you're having troubles just getting it, might as well take the extra time just to get a good fight.
So Qirn find the red mail in Swamp, but that's really the only value, and it's a pretty small amount of value. No progression, just kind of an extra safety net.
Yeah, it's a pretty pretty small value, as you say. I mean, blue mail is always fun to see, but red mail is mostly fluff at this point.
Right, when you've got 13 hearts.
Yeah.
So looks like SirLinkalot's going to go to the back of pod as well, and they're going to hopefully get their fire rod, and that'll be nice for them. Got a Meyer play from xelnas. Probably feeling a bit behind, going for the little gamble on the pendant dungeon. Makes sense.
I mean, we've seen what gambles they've took in pendant dungeons. Look at pod.
Yep. Yeah, big hunk of nothing in Swamp Palace. Really unfortunate for Qirn. And for if our other runners, depending on how they route it, they could end up go-moding that dungeon, which would be really nice for them.
Ooh. SirLinkalot did take a def right inside of pod here. Oh, and that's a save and quit, so he will not get that fire rod.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
So we got two people here that lacks the fire rod, and most likely won't be getting it for a good while.
They'll be kicking themselves when they find it eventually. Mothula, pretty annoying fight, but when you got half magic and a fire rod, it's makes it a little bit easier. NYRambler, pretty clean fight there.
Yeah, it's always an annoying vice.
Yeah. Those spikes in the wall. The bane of any randomizer runner's existence. Yeah. Nothing in Skullwoods, but it's a thing. It's such a quick clear. It made sense for NYRambler to go there, and it is a required crystal. So, see where they opt to go next. Have the option of Ice Palace and Swamp Palace. We know Swamp Palace has no value. And it looks like NYRambler's going to Ice Palace. Oh, gonna check Hobo first.
Qirn checking the bumper cave, seeing it's only a piece of heart.
And those pterodactyls don't do nearly as much when you got that red mail on, so it's getting his value there. Oh, and SirLinkalot, unfortunately, making the same play that Qirn did, missing the fire rod, going straight to the Swamp Palace. Unfortunately, not going to pay off for them. Oh, Rambler changing his mind. Going to Swamp, wow. Almost went into Ice Palace there, but changed his mind. And I mean, we can't know for sure yet, but I think Ice Palace probably is where the value is, and we know for sure that Swamp has nothing. So, kind of unfortunate he just backed out last second like that.
Yeah, you don't want to do all of the Swamp Palace, but having 6 items in it, it has a pretty good chance of having value. Fortunately, not today.
Right. I mean, yeah, sometimes you just gotta make that decision, where it's like Ice Palace has 3, Swamp has 6. you're twice as likely to have something in the swamp usually, so... But it's just so much longer, and... I think it's the, you know, the two dungeons that people probably debate over the most.
Qirn is still trying to find out where the value is.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they go back to pot as their last ditch. So hopefully we'll see xelnas go all the way to the back of pod and get that fire rod. Somebody's asking where the boots were. The boots were in Super Bunny Cave, the east side of Death Mountain in Dark World. Yeah, I believe NYRambler does have crystals 5 and 6, so probably deciding to route that in after Swamp Palace. That's usually how people like to do it, and it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that'd be
value there. So yeah, Rambler opting for that left side. Not going to pay off, but... But it's a safe bet. Nobody likes to skip that left side and then find out later that there's value in there, because it just takes so long to get back.
Qirn finally gets his cape. Won't be long till he gets to check Spike Cave, possibly.
I don't think we've seen anybody do it yet, right? I don't think anybody's made it all the way to the end.
Yeah, I think that's what he's doing right now.
Yeah. So there might be something there. Still looking for quite a few items here. We're looking for that ice rod. We're looking for that cane. I guess that's it, but it feels like quite a few items.
And there's still those silvers we haven't found out. Technically not required, but it does speed up a lot of fights.
Yeah, and it makes the final fight with Ganon quite a bit faster. Can be a game changer in close scenarios. So something I kind of missed earlier is we did have magic powder in Swamp Palace, so magic powder kind of serving as like a fetch quest for one item, and then also a nice safety. So to say there was no value in whatsoever in Swamp may not be true, depending on what that Bat Cave holds. Looks like Xelna's gonna get their fire rods, so that's good. Oh, we did see the bat. My mistake. But nonetheless, magic powder does have value in being a really helpful safety.
Hookshot Cave doesn't have anything good either.
Nope. So yeah, I think we're pretty much just down to Ice Palace and the double-chested fairy as our remaining locations. Well, I guess we still haven't seen Spike Cave yet.
Yeah, that darn Spike Cave.
That pesky Spike Cave.
Only gets rewarded with a heart.
Just the container. Container for some love. See, it looks like Rambler probably going to that double-chested fairy here. Makes a lot of sense. See if there's any value there. Oh, actually going to the west. Checking some of these chests that they haven't gotten to yet. We've got a question in chat about the crystals 5 and 6. And the significance of those is that once you have those two crystals, the bomb shop in the middle of the Dark World allows you to get a big bomb, which opens a wall at the pyramid that has 2 chests in it. So it's kind of like yeah. You get your 5 and your 6, you get 2 chests if you end up doing that.
Yeah, it's you get a bit more value from these crystals because of that. Same as Green Pendant, where you get 1 item when you get to talk to Sashvala.
So runners will often route in those specific crystals just to, to get that check on those 2 chests. Because there's often value there.
In the meanwhile, Qirn decided to return inside of Palace of Darkness here. It's gonna find his
yeah, gonna be pretty upset about that, but at least they'll be moving on with the seed. Let's see where Rambler decides to go next. Rambler's pretty much, has a pretty healthy lead here, so they're kind of probably see the next progression item from them. Looks like makes a lot of sense. 3 items here. It's required dungeon.
And Xelnas finds the silver arrows on the Armos fight inside Eastern.
Wow. So although it's a little bit slow to go back through Eastern like that, those silver arrows will be nice, But that means a lot of our runners probably, you know, potentially will not have silver arrows going into Ganon, depending on how the seed goes. Big kahuna in that first chest of Ice Palace.
It's a fun place to see the big key when you're trying to go mode, but not exactly what they're going for right now.
Yeah, Ice Palace been kind of a weird dungeon though, in that the big key is not required to finish it if you know how to do your bomb jumps.
Indeed. Ice Palace doesn't require much to complete if you know how to do the bomb jump.
But nonetheless, that big key will open the big chest, which could hold some value in this particular seed, so. Let's see if Rambler decides to do it. Yeah, looks like they are going to set that up. This bomb jump saves a whole lot of time, so it's a good one to know.
Yeah, if you're gonna learn a bomb jump in this game, the Ice Palace
Yeah.
bomb jump is probably the one that holds the most value.
By a huge amount. Yeah, like you could only know that bomb jump, and it's, you know, still get really good times.
Takes a while to learn, but once you do, it's pretty easy to get. So
And there's plenty of tutorials online for that. And in the Discord. Rambler, we're gonna check this big chest here. Just a bottle.
Qirn getting a flawless fight.
Rambler really wanting to powder that anti-fairy there. Does make going through that room a little bit easier when, because he can. That anti-fairy tends to hang out right around that door where you exit. Oh, a shovel.
Yeah, it's interesting, but not something you necessarily want to see this far in the seed.
No. A little bit late for fetch quests to make anybody happy, that's for sure. But, you know, it's looking pretty likely at this point that that shovel could hold value. We're only down to a few more chests that haven't been checked.
And we get a bird toss from SirLinkalot. Nice.
It's one of my favorite memes.
Yeah, out of all the memes, it's a pretty good one. That and bombing the validation chest.
Yeah.
Now we know that Meyer doesn't have much in it. When xelnas went in it, I think he had a small shield that he found, and that's about it.
Yeah, no value there. Unfortunately, we're not going to see what's in Ice Palace for now. But I imagine we'll see that pretty soon.
In the meanwhile, Qirn has decided to go inside Eastern. I wonder if he'll complete it, considering he has everything needed.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Qirn ever visited Eastern, so it makes sense that they want to just check these. And you know, if they decide to go to the end, it'll pay off in at least a little bit having the silver arrows be there. All right. So we don't quite know what NYRambler found. We'll have to look at his menu, see if he got any value out of that last item that's missing.
Well, at the very least, he did get another crystal.
Looks like it was the Cane of Samaria. So Ice Palace holding the value.
Yep.
And now we're in that awkward place where Ice Rod is the only thing left. And Turtle Rock is one of the only dungeons. And you just have to make that decision where you're going to check everything else first before going up the mountain, or if you're going to just go to Turtle Rock. Looks like NYRambler at least going to check a few chests before doing that.
Yeah, at this point, that was a nice find, finding the tempered sword here, but I think the correct play is checking Turtle Rock. I mean, there's so many items still in there. Ice Rod could be inside of Turtle Rock, or even worse, inside Mimic Cave.
Yeah, but it could also be at the double-chested fairy. We haven't seen that yet, and you know, it's like, if it ends up being there and you go to Turtle Rock and you don't have your Ice Rod, then you're forced to double dip, and that's a huge time loss. So definitely more likely in Turtle Rock, but it's just always something going on in the back of your mind saying, "Oh, I should really check everything else first." And I think NYRambler is going to do that. He's going to go check something here. Oh, the shovel spot.
Yeah, not a bad idea considering. And a shovel dash. Swag!
Nothing there. And what's also funny, and I just thought about, is that Ice Rod could be on Pedestal.
It could be. It's one of those items always likely to be there.
It could be there. So, you know, I imagine what NYRambler it looks like is going to do is just going to check all these pretty quick overworld chests that are left, and then we'll go to Turtle Rock. And then, you know, just strand the Pedestal and hope nothing's there, because it's super unlikely, but it is possible.
I mean, one of the unlikeliest things to happen is the book being on the pedestal and the Ice Rod being in one of the tablets. That would probably be the worst thing ever, but it could happen.
That's a scary, wonderful thought.
Not much value inside the
Just
pyramid
a
here.
useless quack.
Quack medallion and a bottle with green goo in it.
So we're checking ice or Spike Cave probably just before making their Turtle Rock climb.
Yeah, nice try, Rambler.
Taking a death, unfortunately.
Fortunately, you don't have the time to use a bottle there.
Yeah, Rambler never getting his cape, so that's kind of bit him back there and cost him a little bit of time. That weird cape location kind of trolling a couple of our runners, just making Spike Cave that much more difficult. Just meanwhile, from our other runners, Qirn making his way through Ice Palace, going to get their King of Samaria pretty quick. SirLinkalot looks like they're finishing up Eastern, probably going to get the Silver Arrows, so that'll be nice for them. And xelnas making their way through Skull Woods and taking out Mothula. We are not in go mode. We are still looking for that pesky ice rod, and it likely scenario is that it's in Turtle Rock. Like, very likely. But we're not counting out that pedestal. We're not counting out the couple medallion tablets that are book locked. Nor are we counting out Sahasrahla green pendant.
Yeah, that's true. That's another trolley location.
And I guess Rambler never got to finish Tower Terra. Uh-oh. Rambler may be stuck in between those blocks. I'm not sure, but we'll see in a second.
Yeah, there's a few awkward locations on those blocks here that you may get stuck.
Yeah, I'm thinking this might be that scenario right here, but I can't quite tell.
But he does have the cane. He may be able to just flip. Oh,
No,
no,
he's good. He's good. Good. I was worried there for a second. Well, xelnas gonna get their useless quack here behind the big wall. Yeah, kind of an interesting spot. Everybody's just kind of doing different things at this point. Well, I guess xelnas is going into Ice Palace. But,
Yeah, at this point they're all looking for pretty much the same items.
yeah, just kind of cleaning up.
Yeah. Trying to get a few more crystals that they can get and trying to find where Ice Rod and Cane of Samaria is. Qirn and xelnas are about to find it inside of here.
So what's your prediction? Where's that ice rod?
Man, I want to be nice with these guys tonight. I think I'm going to say inside to a rock.
Okay. I will not be mean, but I think I'm going to guess that they're going to have a book in Turtle Rock, and that the ice rod is going to be on the tablet just, right next to Ganon's tower in the light world.
Yeah, the ether tablet.
Yeah, the ether tablet. That's my guess.
It's not that bad. I mean, you do have to go through Turtle Rock again, but of all of the places it could be, it's not. It could be worse.
Yeah, could be Pedestal with nobody having any pendants whatsoever. Like, they have a couple of them have the Eastern Palace pendant, but that's it. Shovel Spot had nothing. It's just a piece of heart. Yeah, Rainbow actually had quite a few chests to check before going into Turtle Rock here. Something that, like, Qirn has kind of already checked everything and might have a little bit of an advantage in that sense. They might just go straight to Turtle Rock right after this Cold Stare fight.
Not in any danger at all with that red mail and double magic.
No. Alright. Turtle Rock, just one. Small key.
Looks like xelnas could not do the bomb jump here, probably because he does not quite know how to use this sprite to do it, or maybe just because he's low on hearts. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, this one caveat of playing all these really fun sprites is if you have a knack for all of those really pixel tight tricks like bomb jumps, they get completely changed when you when you change sprites. So wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, but it's not a huge deal getting through, especially if you're trying to full clear the dungeon. It's not a huge time loss going through it the vanilla way.
Considering the location of where the Cane of Samaria was, it's pretty much vanilla anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. Looks like Qirn's going to Turtle Rock, so Qirn is not far behind New York Rambler in the end, just because of how this seed worked out, where you just, it's so risky going to Turtle Rock early, and New York Rambler spent all that time looking at overworld chests to try to find that ice rod. So it's funny how it kind of evens out like that a little bit. Those chain chomps not giving New York Rambler the RNG he was hoping for. I think it's kind of just taking it slow.
Yeah, it's one of those things that even on red mail, they still pack a punch.
Yeah, it's the most damaging enemy in the game, I believe, running in face first in the Ganon.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting note here too is that although Qirn is a little bit behind of NYRambler, Qirn has the silver arrows. This is actually a pretty close race between the two of them, because that will save quite a bit of time, especially on the Ganon fight. And if something like Silver's or something like Armos 2 is required, that's even more time saved for Qirn. Oh, Rambler taking a really interesting route here. I've never seen any of this. Getting that magic there. Oh, and then just gets hit by the anti-fairy. Xelnas getting their cane. I'll be happy to finally see that. We're gonna get to the infamous Mimic Cave. I always joke this is just a completely dead location. I never find anything here ever. So let's see if this run proves me wrong.
Yeah, I did find a bow once in here. Complete trash location for it.
I can't remember the last time I found anything in there. Well, yeah. Still a dead location.
At this point, there's not a lot of locations left inside Turtle Rock.
I'm still sticking with my prediction here. I think we're gonna find a book. We are gonna find literacy in this dungeon. $20. So NYRambler not having any items. Gonna have to do some laser skips. See how they go for him. First one went well.
Yeah, by logic, they're not supposed to be able to do that, but like a lot of things in Randomizer, you can do it anyway.
Right. And we know where the cape was, so we know this is within the sequence. It's just that NYRambler didn't get the cape, so he's got to improvise a little bit.
Open up the safety passage here. Great idea, considering a number of hearts he has.
It's really nice that that's there. Ooh, butter. And
oh
wow,
no!
Why can you? Why? What? It's got to be the pedestal or Sahasrahla, right? That's all that's left.
That or the tablet. Oh, it's so bad. So.
Oh my god.
I don't think anybody's gonna get.
I didn't think it would actually happen. I can't believe that actually happened. So yeah, we're gonna probably see a pod play here, or I mean a Misery Mire play. So that's where our green pendant is. Wow, that's pretty unreal. And all of a sudden, I'm not surprised that we have 0 finisher. 46 minutes. That totally makes sense now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense considering.
We almost, with races this big, we pretty much 100% of the time have a finisher before 2 hours. But this seed will test that. We'll see. Because I would have never gone for the pedestal in this situation.
So yeah, that's a good point. Rambler did not get inside Eastern yet, so he didn't get his silvers, which means that Qirn will get an even bigger advantage out of this because of Vitreous.
That's totally true. Wow, this is kind of becoming interesting between Qirn and NYRambler here, actually. And I can't remember if Rambler actually checked any of these items in Mire yet. No, it doesn't look like he has, so he's gonna go for a full clear here.
Yeah, and I believe Qirn did go inside.
Yeah, I think so. So I think Qirn actually has a lead now. I think it just kind of flipped. Because he's just checked more locations. He's done Eastern Palace, he's done most of Mire. So yeah, this is becoming very interesting. Unfortunately, xelnas is taking the same disappointing route through Turtle Rock. I doubt. I mean, it would be very surprising to me if SirLinkalot decides to chase the Pedestal before going there.
Yeah, it's a logical way to think too, because as we said, there's so many treasures inside Turtle Rock. Might as well do that since it's a
6 total items in Turtle Rock, including the mimic. And so it just, it was a 75% chance basically that you were gonna find Ice Rod there, and it just didn't happen. That's randos. It looks like Qirn has not done Muzzy Mire because they just opened it up for the time, so doesn't quite have that advantage, but still has the advantage of having done Eastern Palace already and having the silver arrows, so defeating Vitreous is going to be a lot faster.
Yeah, but they are close enough so that it can change lead very fast.
Yeah, although this is extremely close between those two runners. Yeah, I'll die if it's a if it's book Pedestal or something like that.
And as we know, there's nothing much inside the first part of Mire here. Rambler did find himself an upgrade for his shield, but it's pretty much useless at this point.
Yeah, we know it has to be either that green pendant or Pedestal, so our two runners here will discover that very soon and start doing their grind.
The sad thing about this too is all of these guys went into Palace of Darkness and had everything required to beat it.
Yep.
So if this is a Pedestal seed, they all made the same mistake.
Yeah, and it's hardly, it's so slow. The last stretch of pod where you go to Helmasaur is such a long haul. It really takes quite a bit of time, and it can seem worth it when there's an actual, there's an item, but because they'd already gotten all 5 items, it just didn't make sense for any of them to do that. But it looks like that might have, you know, there's 50-50 chance at this point that that was a mistake.
Looks like looks like xelnas is about to get a reality check here.
Yep. Unfortunately, does not have the ice rod and will discover not defeatable. See if they discover before they go into the fight. No. It happens to the best of us. Someone's opting to die to Trinix. So yeah, Rambler gonna have to use... Okay, opting for the sword spins here. Yeah, one item that could speed up this fight other than silver arrows is having that cape. Because if you have the cape, you can just dash through those eyeballs and take them out very quickly, but yeah, Rambler just not having that cape, it's actually come up quite a few times that missing that cape has cost him time. Kind of interesting. Alright, I imagine NYRambler is going to beeline straight for Sahasralite. What do you think, chat? Is go mode about to happen, or do we have a pedestal seat on our hands?
I think he's gonna go to the dark world and mirror at Sahasrala's place, and if it's nothing, just continue on into Pod and Eastern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be the most prudent play. A book here would be really funny because it just... Then you'd have to debate between going straight for pedestal or going to the tablets. I'm thinking this is it. I'm thinking Ice Rod's right here with our boy Shakalaka.
Welp.
Drum roll, please. Oh, it's a bomb upgrade. That is... Oh my gosh. The very last location that probably all of our runners are going to check. And it requires 2 more dungeon clears. Wow. Well, chat's dream has come true. Pedestal seed.
So at this point, I would say that xelnas is probably in the lead. Maybe not.
Does xelnas have some pendants? Yeah, Qirn, gotcha. Yeah, I think it's hard to tell. I don't know exactly what's left on Qirn's plate. Yes, it looks like Qirn might have some items, some locations that we forgot about, like this in Hyrule Castle here. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I think NYRambler still has a slight lead, but and that silver arrow advantage that I was alluding to earlier is no longer going to be a factor after that Vitreous fight, because Eastern Palace is required, so NYRambler will get his silver arrows.
In that aspect, at least it's something good. Everybody's gonna finish with a butter sword and silver arrows.
Yeah, I mean, when you 100% the seed, that's kind of like tough. This is pretty nuts. We're coming up on 2 hours. We have 0 finishers. I mean, I can't stress how this never happens. We never have a race of 70 entrants and somebody doesn't finish under 2. So this would be a historic steed.
Indeed, one of the
If that happens.
trolliest.
Yeah, the ultimate trolliest. But we still got 3 minutes, not counting our other runners out. Unless... Okay, let's see. Alright, we have our first finisher. TGH, first place, 157.53. So it happened. Big Dunk at second place, 158.16. Good stuff to those runners, not letting the, not letting the curse be lifted, like I said.
Indeed.
So, still sub 2, even on this seed. I can't, it'd be hard for me to think of a trollier seed, honestly. Yeah, at this point, we'd pretty solidly say the NYRambler had a pretty significant lead over Qirn, just because of how it turned out. But it was kind of interesting how, just based on what were the possible locations left, that they were kind of flip-flopping. And then, in the end, NYRambler's going to come on top.
I'm not so sure. NYRambler hasn't done anything inside Eastern.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, Qirn's still... Yeah. It's closer than I was saying, but yeah, I think that he still does have a lead. Oh, but he's, taking some time to catch fairies, and you never know. Oh no, Rambler did come through, but remember, he took a death here at this damage boost.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so that's why he didn't go in that eastern room there, because he never got this big key. So that is costing him a little time, but not a huge amount. Checking that chest, the last ditch effort for NYRambler to think this isn't a pedestal seed, but he knows and we know now.
Oh, not yet, since he hasn't had the silvers from Armos.
That's true. You're right. He doesn't know yet.
But we know.
We know. Oh yeah, my mistake. Qirn has done Eastern Palace. He's full cleared the dungeon. He's got a lead here. Got a couple of our runners mixed up, but yeah, so Qirn is definitely in the lead. It's actually really close, because Rambler's gonna finish this up real quick, and then they're gonna be, within a minute or two of each other.
Yeah, it may come down to Ganon's Tower.
It really will. This is easily a left side, right side, switch could decide this, no problem. Yeah, my mistake there, chat.
So, is this the book, or is this the ice rod?
I don't know. I don't even want to predict anymore. The seed is just... it's left me speechless.
season's not over, boys.
You gotta be kidding me. He bombs it. I would have bombed that too. Well, there's the book. Not go mode yet, folks.
You see, that keeps on taking.
I know. I just hope for Qirn's sake that they end up checking the right tablet. Okay, just real quick here, we got some finishers. Mikon, 3rd place, 201.13. Bentisi, 4th place, 202.31. And Sonic Cam, 5th place, 202.42. Oh. 100% clear the seed just to get some literacy.
And Rambler does bomb the pedestal himself too.
Actually, this is interesting. Qirn and NYRambler, based on if Qirn chooses the other tablet, that could end up putting him in the lead. I doubt he would. It doesn't make sense routing wise, but it would have paid off. Wow. So in the end, I was correct in predicting that the ice rod would be at the ether tablet, but I did not predict that you would have to go to the pedestal to get the book. Sixth place we have Pryor, 203.36. Evanitis, 7th place, 204.21. Although we can't see it, we know exactly where NYRambler and Qirn are headed. We're going to see that ice rod on that ether tablet.
And there's the ice rod.
Sounds like go mode to me.
Oh yeah, that's a go mode, and he's currently going towards Stirl Rock.
So yeah, really impressive that some of our runners were able to sub 2, considering what the seed required, you know. You gotta imagine everybody probably double dipped Turtle Rock. Although maybe not. Hard to say. But really, really tough seed. Good stuff to our 4 runners here for sticking it out.
So it looks like Qirn is just about to defeat Trinex.
So you know what that means. It's time for
Time to
Ganon's
guess.
Tower. Yep. 22 chests in Ganon's Tower that are accessible for the final ascent. Which chest will have that big key? Spam your number in chat and we'll see very soon.
I think they have enough RNG for today, so I'll pick number 2.
I'll pick 6 because I always pick 6. All right. So Qirn's opening it up. NYRambler not far behind at all. Like I said, still in the realm of a left versus right side divergence, deciding the fate of their race here.
And meanwhile, xelnas is finishing Mire, and SirLinkalot is going down into Pod.
Yep. That pedestal grind. So Qirn opting for left side, even though they did get that first key, so I wouldn't be surprised if NYRambler decides to take that right side just because there's the key right there. And then things could get interesting. But we'll use Qirn's numbers for the little game here. I think that's chest number 4, 5, 6. 7 having nothing. Yeah, it looks like NYRambler is going right side. So this could decide it between our two runners in the lead here. I think if we have something on the right side, we're pretty dang close. And then if we have some big key on the left side, Qirn's got a pretty significant lead.
Rambler missed the torch here.
Ah, darn. It's going to cost him a little time there.
You don't have a lot of time to make that, since I believe it is a 13 seconds to get all the torches.
Oh, yeah?
Something around there.
What number are we on here? I don't know if this can't burn now. Fortunately, not exactly sure where runners are at here, but should know soon. In the meantime, I'll have some more finishers here. Haha Cell with 11th place, 2:11:55. Gloin 12th place, 2:12:25. And Latchery, 13th place, 2:12:47. I think a couple I missed here. Salty Fry, 8th place, 2:09:54. Aaron Dobby tying Salty Fry for 8th place, 2:09:54. And Maximum Barnage, 10th place, the 2:10:03. Gonsport, 14th place, 2:13:25. Here's some hyperlinks of the past for y'all. Dang it. I don't know how Qirn got so fast. I need to practice more. Dragon Master is 15th place, 2:14:35. Sixteenth place, we have Trezzle, 2:15:08. It looks like we have the information that Qirn has begun their ascent. It looks like the big key was in the back of behind Armos 2 there. So can't know exactly for sure how Qirn approached that, but I'm pretty sure that was chest. Shoot, I'm not sure. I'll think about it. Yeah, we can't know because we don't know what order they checked it in, unfortunately. That last room especially.
Should be around 17 if you didn't check
17,
any of the right side.
17 to 19, I think, or something like, or yeah.
Yeah.
Or 15 to 17, I think. Depending on what order they checked those last 3 chests in. So you're all winners. Okay, we've got a confirmation in chat. It was 17. So chest 17 was the winner. Yeah, I don't imagine Qirn's gonna get those chests. They've got literally every item they need for the Ganon fight. Yeah, this was quite a long seed. If any of you are just tuning in, we had it was not only a pedestal seed, but a pedestal seed that led to book, which led to the final item, which was Ice Rod, so it was pretty unreal.
Yeah, it's not every day you see a seed like this one.
No. I haven't seen one this bad in quite a while. Or this good.
Well, that's
Qirn.
what. You could go ahead.
Oh, just saying Qirn's starting this Agnum 2 fight. But yeah, you go ahead and see what he said.
Yeah, it's what Randomizer does. You never know what you're getting into, and sometimes you get crazy fast Cs that are over in an hour and a few minutes, and sometimes you're more than 2 hours in, and it's part of the
Look
fun.
at that pattern.
That was an amazing fight.
Yeah, pretty good. We're getting through the gauntlet pretty cleanly. Lots of hearts left. And Qirn going into this final fight with the big old pig. Shouldn't be too tough considering they've got everything they need. Full board. You look at those trackers, they are completely full, at least for Qirn. Except for the Agnum fight.
Yeah, shout out for our trackers for keeping all track of all those things these runners have to get.
this one, they definitely had their work cut out for them in this seed.
Yeah.
Qirn setting up the torch glitch and getting a nice setup here. Gets a quick double on Ganon. There's a third. And he is down. And Qirn is our first finisher of our 4 featured runners today. Official SRL time, 2:19:42. Great stuff to Qirn. Spam your GGs in chat. We did it.
Great message.
Yeah, that's pretty appropriate for this seed, I would say. Just finishing a seed like this is impressive. See if Qirn is interested in coming here chatting with us a little bit.
Xelnas is making his way through Ganon's tower now. All he's missing is a few small keys.
Yep. In case you don't know, you do. Even if you find the big key very early, before you can make that final ascent, you have to make sure you have at least one small key, because otherwise you'll be locked out. The final ascent. There is one small key on the way, but you need 2 total. NYRambler starting the Ganon fight. pretty easy stuff with the butter sword. I think it only takes 6 hits for each phase.
Rambler misses the torch glitch, but it's fine considering half magic and plenty of magic.
No big deal at all. When you've got the silver arrows, you really just need to light the torch a few times. And Ganon goes down. NYRambler finishing 28th place with official SRL time 2 hours 23 minutes and 18 seconds. GG. Pretty close race between the two runners. It was interesting how it, just flip-flop back and forth. Even I was getting lost a little bit there with the whole whether Qirn had finished Eastern or not, and in the end, only a little bit over a minute difference between the two of them. Welcome. GG, NYRambler.
GG. No, not GG. Yeah.
Well, we've got Qirn here too. Great.
Hey, what a seed! Oh my god.
Were we the first two of the feature runners to finish, or was there someone else that finished early?
You were the first two, and you were only about a from each other.
Yeah, his top 10 was when I was in the Helmstar room, I think.
Yep. Yeah, it was really interesting watching the two of you play because you were kind of trading the leads based on what things were left.
I just want to point out though, if this was a tournament race, I would have gambled the Pedestal.
Oh, interesting.
Because the way it was playing out is because I died on blind with 1 hit to go,
Right.
and set me back, and then I died getting the big key in Eastern. If before going to Turtle Rock, I would have finished off Meyer and the other dungeons if this was a tournament race. But because it's a daily race, I'm just going to play my normal game.
You're a lot braver than me.
Yeah, I think I personally have pretty much the opposite mentality when it comes to tournament versus just a casual daily race like this. So that's interesting. But
I figure if I'm behind, I'll just make a play that I don't think my opponent would make. That's how I
yeah, I guess that's true.
I feel like I lost some time because I forgot that I could even do Ice Palace. For some reason, I was thinking I needed Bombos, and I looked at my item menu, and I was like, oh, crap. But then, I probably would have ended up full clearing everything anyway, so...
So who was the first of the feature runners to go to Pod?
It was Qirn, but the thing is, Qirn didn't get the Fire Rod. Qirn left Pod before getting that big key chest, and that cost you some time.
Oh, was that where the Fire Rod was? I got some other progression item there, and I was like, I'm outie.
Yeah, you found the
bow and hook
shot and went straight. Yep, and went straight to Swamp Palace, which had no value.
I mean, I made some other mistakes, I feel like, early in the run, so routing mistakes. So I thought I was pretty far behind, and I was like, it's not a choice I'd normally make to leave a pendant dungeon that I'm dipping, but I felt like I had to catch up, but it ended up biting me, I guess.
Yeah, no,
the scene was evil
totally
enough
stacked.
in forcing you to go into Thieves Town without a weapon. Because all the weapons you need to kill blind were hidden behind that hammer you found in Thieves Town.
Right, yep. And I think Qirn went there first by a pretty good amount, but then the rest of you pretty much just delayed that Thieves Town until the last thing, just because you didn't have a weapon. So
that's why I didn't know. I can't kill blind without a sword. Even Cane of Burnout would have dipped in there, but Cane of Burnout is in Granite's tower, so.
Yeah, that's pretty trolly. A Paradox book on pedestal. It's not the text. You should not. This is a paradox. You should not
I
be
read it
seeing
to
the
show
text.
the viewers because I knew I was to show the viewers what it says when you pull the book out of the pedestal.
Oh, really? Wow. Yeah, it was quite a seed. It was the gift that kept on giving. Really, it just. So I told him going into the Thieves' Town without a weapon because of all the other stuff that added up.
Yeah, because you needed, unless you knew how to glitch over to pod before that. That's the only way.
Right.
Well, I was bummed that I wasn't going to get a sub 2, but then I see that only 2 people in the race got a sub 2. So
I know.
I'm not so bummed after all.
Commentators cursed it, and I was saying this might be the like the 70 entrance.
Dynasty,
and there's
didn't you call my race at Ice Rise on Pedestal the 3-way race? Yeah, all right. I don't want to do any Dynasty commentaries anymore.
I did even say it earlier that, the evilest thing would be to have the book on pedestal and have one of the tablets having the ice rod.
Oh my god!
And yeah, happened.
So it's your fault, really.
Yep. Now I know.
Well, it made things interesting.
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure. If in a seed where I feel like I made a few routing mistakes, I'm glad that pretty much everybody had to 100% it anyway.
For those who didn't know, Dynasty was in my group in the secondary tournament, and the race that I had against him, the flute was on the pedestal.
Yeah, it's like some kind of curse where everything is always on the pedestal with me.
Between me and you, it was the third time that me and you, I think I commented your race, and you actually, that was your best race ever. But it was when you and me do not have a good history when it comes to this pedestal.
The Dynasty pedestal.
Well, still, congrats on you guys for actually finishing this scene. It's
only 2 forfeits from what I saw so far. That's pretty solid for a scene.
Really? Wow, that's really impressive.
Yeah, that is
considering a number of people in this race. Yeah, it's I gotta say, shout out to everybody that decided to participate and keep going on.
Yeah, this one tested your endurance. It was a grind. But.
Well, thanks for commenting. This is the first time I've been featured. I haven't done a tourney or anything like that. So what a seed to be featured on. But but I'm sure there's lots of new people from AGDQ who are watching this, and I'm very new. Like I just started in October, so this game is super accessible, and y'all should be rolling the seed right now to play. So thanks, guys.
No problem. Thanks for running, Qirn.
As we see here, Xelnas is now on his Ganon fight. Gonna use cape strats.
That's the only item I didn't grab. I knew where it was. I didn't bother going back to get it.
Yeah, it was interesting how the cape actually kind of just cost you in a few little places. And it was just because, you just went there without flippers, so, like, why would you ever want to go back? It made sense, but...
Yeah, the only way I was going to go for it is if there was something good on the bumper ledge, and there wasn't. It was just a piece of heart, so...
Right. And that's just, like, another spot where Qirn got little micro advantages.
Yeah, because he probably had a lot easier laser bridge than I did.
Yeah.
$191 of 216. I think that might be and I didn't pick up like 5 items I saw, so that was almost a full collect. I think the only things I didn't open was the Dark Chest and Hyrule Castle. No, I skipped that. I'm trying to think what else I skipped.
I don't know. I think you pretty much 100%ed it.
I said the dark chest and Hyrule, but I figured with an hour 50 in, the ice run's not gonna be there.
Right.
Yeah, and about that Spike Cave.
Oh yeah. I realized as soon as I picked up the block, and I'm holding the block in my hand with one heart, I was like, "There's no way this is gonna work, is it?"
Funny thing is, you weren't the only one to die in Spike Cave of our few. 3 of the somehow.
Well, if you didn't have the cape, and obviously didn't have the cane to burn us, so yeah.
Right.
But it was a very healthy seed. I think I had 12 hearts by the time we were 20 minutes in.
Yeah, it was always very close, but yeah, no cigar there. It all came down to who used what item to actually get that rock over. And xelnas is
finishing off the pig here. 35th place.
GG to xelnas.
2 hours, 32 minutes, 9 seconds. Good stuff. Spam your GGs in chat.
It looks like we got SirLinkalot is back.
Yeah, on the Aghanim 2 fight. Pretty close to finishing off this wonderful seed.
Hi there, xelnas. How did it go?
I love that seed, except for that time where I forgot I didn't have Ice Rod.
You can tell xelnas is a commentator also. This is a commentator's dream.
Oh, that was fun. No, look, if you're not like salty and forgot that you're playing randomizer, this is actually a really cool seed. Yeah, this is one of those seeds where it's completely like whoever won was the one who made like the weird choice. Cause like, why do this was such a good seed, except for that Ice Rod. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was I was expecting Green Pendant, but I was gonna pull Pedestal anyway, so I just decided to do Green Pendant last. So like, cause like technically, you like in my position, I should have done Meyer first, but I was gonna pull Pedestal anyway, so it didn't really matter. It turned out that saved me like 5 seconds.
Yep. Hey, anywhere you can get it. Not 100%.
How did I do at the in the early? Because I felt like I made a really dumb decision to like do all of the overworld, and then I found Fluna. I'm like, oh.
Well,
was I ahead in the early game?
Not that much. I think Qirn was first to find the flute, actually.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And Qirn did this early play on Thieves Town, which kind of put him ahead early game of you guys. You guys all kind of delayed it for a while, and didn't get your hammer. So
well, in open, not Key Sanity, in open, I like to avoid doing dungeons until I can beat them, even regardless of what it is. If it was a pendant, a red, or whatever, I'll just do it. But I couldn't. So my default, the only one I'll do is if I have the bow, I'll go and do Thieves. But I had literally no weapons for Thieves, so I was like, okay, this is a gamble, I guess.
Yeah, totally makes sense. Yeah, and NYRambler was saying the exact same thing. That's why he avoided to he didn't have a weapon to beat the blind, so why would you go in there?
I didn't even have a weapon to fight off the horse guys, so I was like, no, I don't want to be here.
Yeah, you had boomerangs.
Scary.
I did have both boomerangs. The boomerangs are what made me do a lot of what I did, because boomerangs, like with Bloomerang, you can do anything. So, like the Bloomerang is what made me do early Eastern. But that was really fun. I think that if you didn't like that seed, then Randomizer like might not be for you. Just because like that's like exactly what Randomizer is. And okay, I will be fair. When I was going to Turtle Rock, I was gambling, and then I just forgot I didn't have Ice Rod because I was so excited that I was going to Turtle Rock already. So
funny.
I did go to Turtle Rock intentionally, like go mode in it. But that burnt me, and then I forgot while I was in there. So.
All right, real quick, SirLinkalot just finished 39th place, 2 hours, 35 minutes, and 17 seconds. GG.
I should have opened up chat. My bad. I can't see chat at all.
No, it's all right. But yeah, good stuff. Yeah, everybody's pretty much finishing the seed. I think it's kind of what you're saying, where it's just like, this is just the epitome of randomizer. It's just one of the craziest things that could happen. So people really just kind of took it for what it was. It's just kind of a fun, insane seed.
Yeah, I think that was one of the funnest seeds I've ever played.
Yeah.
And like, I knew it going up the mountain. I'm like, I should be doing these. I think I should be doing these pendants. But then I was like, oh, I thought I was like 200 IQ when I beat Armos and they had silvers. I felt like 200 IQ at the moment. I was like, oh, I did this just on a whim, and they have a good item. And then an hour later, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it was definitely a very entertaining seed to cast for us.
Yeah. It's gonna be a while before I get one that good casting.
Speaking of which, we have another seed that's coming up in just a few minutes here. A standard hard mode is going to start at 11.
Yeah,
And
11
about
Eastern
15
time.
Yeah,
Standard
in
hard
about
mode seems
15
fun.
minutes.
So,
So if
stick
you
around for
guys-
that.
Exactly. We're going to have a new set of commentators and possibly 4 new people also running featured on the stream. So sit tight and it's going to be right back.
If any of you want a game that de-stresses you after randomizer, just play Throne of Lies. That game is the best de-stress game I've ever played. Okay, peace out. Thanks everyone for watching.
Yeah, thanks, Zelda. GG.
Xelnas. I'm not Xelna.
He's not the legendary guy that has
No,
the
I'm not.
world
He-
record in all the run.
Xelnas.
If you miss the S, you get a guy who probably wouldn't play rando.
He does
Yeah.
not play rando.
He did. He'd be one of the top runners immediately.
Goodbye, everyone.
Thanks for the commentary, Dynasty and LT. I'm used to calling you guys matches, but you called me this time. I'm sure you did a great
Yeah.
job. I'm gonna watch it all tomorrow, probably. GG's to everyone that watched. Hope you got a good show.
Thank you for giving a good show too.
And thank you for everyone's following my channel now. I got like 4 follow alerts while I was racing. I don't know if my audio was on me. That might have heard that.